Here we have the equation 3x plus 9 is equal to 5x minus 7 plus 2. When solving equations, our goal is to figure out what x is equal to. We want to know what number fits as x, so it makes the equation true on both sides. So ultimately, we want to have an x is equal to whatever number that is. Here, I'm going to list you guys the steps to solving equations. So we have step 1 is to distribute. If we see parentheses, do is to combine like terms on each side, so combine variables and constants. Step 3 is to eliminate the variable on one side. Remember, variables are letters, the ones with the letters, so that's 3x and 5x. And 4, eliminate the constant on the other side. So constants are the ones without the letters, so that's the 9, the 7, and the 2. And step 5 is to divide by the coefficient. And the coefficient's the number next to letter, and that's always going to be our last step. Not all steps will be used in every single equation, but here I'm just going to walk you through this example problem. So first, I'm going to rewrite this equation, but I'm going to color coordinate it. So I have the reds represent my variables, and the blue represents my constant. Remember, the variables are the ones with the letter, constants are just the regular numbers. So basically, my goal is to get the variables on one side of the equation and the constants on the other side. So let's go ahead and begin. Step 1 is to distribute, but I don't see any parentheses here. So I'm going to go on to now step number 2. So step 2, combine like terms on each side. So let's go ahead and draw my line. The line just represents my equal sign. So look on my left side of the equation. I see that I cannot combine anything. I cannot combine a variable and a constant. So now I'm going to look at the right side of the problem. I see I can combine the two constants. So my minus 7 and my plus 2. And I see when I do that, I end up getting 3x plus 9 is equal to 5x minus 5. So it's minus 5 because I'm combining minus 7 and plus 2. So negative 7 plus 2 is negative 5. Now I'm going to go on to step 3, eliminate the variable on one side. I can eliminate the variable on either side. You get a pick, but I always like eliminating the smaller variable just because it's easier to calculate with smaller numbers. So my smaller variable here is the 3x. 5x is bigger. So by eliminating it, I'm going to take the opposite or the inverse. So the opposite of positive 3x is negative 3x or minus 3x. And what you do to one side, you do to the other. So I'm subtracting 3x from each side. Now 3x minus 3x, that cancels out. Bring down my 9 is equal to 5x minus 3x. That is equal to 2x. And then bring down my minus 5. All right, now I'm going to go into step 4. Eliminate the constant on the other side. So if I eliminated the variable on the left side, that means on the right side, I must eliminate the constant. Remember, you want to get your variables on one side and your constants on the other side. So here my constant is minus 5. So the opposite or the inverse would be to add 5. And what you do to one side, you do to the other. So we get 9 plus 5 is 14 is equal to, bring down my 2x. So negative 5 plus 5 cancels each other out. Now I'm going to go on to my step 5, divide by the coefficient. And here my coefficient's the number that's next to the letter. So that would be 2. So here 14 divided by 2 is 7 is equal to, now 2 divided by 2 is just 1x. And I don't have to write 1x. I can just leave it as just x. So I get 7 is equal to x, or x is equal to 7. It's the same thing, and there you go. Now, if I want to check if my solution is correct, I can check it by plugging in the value of x into the equation to see if it's true. So here's our original equation, and we determined that x is equal to 7. So let's go ahead and plug in 7 for the x. So we get 3 times 7 plus 9 is equal to 5 times 7 minus 7 plus 2. So just by following orders of operation, I'm going to begin with PEMDAS, right? So I'm going to begin with my parentheses and multiplication. So 3 times 7 will be 21. And then I'm just going to bring down the rest of the equation here. And 5 times 7 is 35 minus 7 plus 2. And then let's go ahead and combine. 21 plus 9 is 30. 35. Let's see, 35 minus 7 plus 2, that will be 30 as well. So here we have 30 is equal to 30, so that is true. I do have the correct solution that x is equal to 7.